This college basketball picks and Big 12 ACC A10 MAAC and Conference USA Tournament edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Cut. Cut is a peer-to-peer social betting platform that's US based and available in 40 states. Head to cut.com, that's KUTT.com, and use promo code SGPN for a 10% deposit bonus. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Play their fantasy pick'em for a chance to win 100x in NBA, NHL, college basketball, and more. Sign up today using promo code SGPN to get a 100% deposit match. We're also brought to you by Champs. Run your own March Madness pool and enter Champs free bracket contest for a chance to win $1,000. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/champs to enter today. We're also brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting research platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit HOFBets.com. Use code SGPN to get 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today. Ooh, welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, second the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, real money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog. It's madness. It's officially madness.
It is
officially
madness.
We can. I said. I even said Happy March Madness to those who celebrate. To a bunch of soccer dads today. So, shout out to me, just spreading the word.
Ryan is spreading the word. I'm spreading the word of Lehigh basketball. How about those Mountain Hawks?
Oh, I thought you were making some sort of political statement with those guns out.
Yes, the right to bear arms. I'm exercising that right. Lehigh down 18 points against the Boston Terriers. Came all the way back, sent it to overtime. Crazy game. Patriot League basketball at its finest. I know everyone makes fun of me for betting on teams that are good at free throws. Boston 11-21 from the line. That was the difference. Let's go. And now Colgate for the championship. Great game by Lehigh. Just awesome day of hoops in general. I had a lot of winners today and on Saturday. It's been a nice little heater, Ryan. Joining us to keep the college basketball heater alive. You know him from the college basketball experience, Colby Dant, aka Pick Dundee. What's happening, Colby?
I mean, how about these games, man? I'm exhausted from watching these games. Just what? It must be tough on Kramer right now because six 1 seeds have been eliminated and we're not even at the championship games. This is crazy.
Colgate almost lost. Vermont almost lost. UMB. So I did lose my 2 American East futures. So I know you're happy, Ryan, but both of them, I mean, UMBC got into overtime.
No, UMBC should have won that game. They shit the bed, man.
And
but
Maine,
dude, how about
Maine? That was cooked. But UMBC, they should have won that game. They should have beat UMass.
I mean, the SoCon games today, the Lehigh game that you're referring to, the App State Arkansas State game. This is the best. This is like it's the best. It's the best sporting thing in the world. You know, there's nothing better than this.
No, it is. It's awesome. I mean, conference tournaments, perfect, perfect time to load up for the big tournament, the big dance right around the corner. We hit our Underdog Fantasy entry. Of course, the one where I said we do one higher, one lower, that one hit. The one where we crowbarred Baycott rebounds in that did not hit.
Oh, yeah, how about your boy Filipowski too, man? It's nice to know that after his leg was amputated, that he was able to get some stem cells, regrow that leg, and then extend a nice trip to the North Carolina Tar Heel player. And then did you see his interview afterwards? See his interview saying he said, "Oh, I didn't trip. I was just getting my leg up. I didn't purposely trip anybody." Hilarious.
So now, I mean, again, you almost wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt with the court storming of like, oh, he didn't intentionally kick it out, or maybe do, maybe don't. But now certainly loses a ton of credibility with that play. Like the extending the leg was just, I mean,
Look,
it was such a bitch play.
I don't mind a dirty player, but if you're a dirty player, you got to go all the way. All right. You can't bitch about court storming saying we need change. If you're a dirty player, you gotta be like Andre Dirty Waters or Bill Lambier or some shit. You know what I mean? Like
did Grayson Allen ever complain?
I'm sure he did. Just maybe not in front of a microphone.
I feel like he embraced the heel a little bit more.
Why? Yeah, embrace the heel. If you're gonna be a bitch, lean into it and just be like a true dirty player, like Colby said. Throw some elbows, like Charles Barkley to that poor man in Angola. The dream team, just destroyed him with an elbow.
Do you guys remember that great story with Frank Burkowski when we had him on the show about him taking Barkley to the bars in Milwaukee and he threw a guy through a window? Fucking phenomenal.
Sometimes you got to set the tone. And worth noting, Colby started with some slander about me taking. I think he was trying to make fun of the fact that I took a lot of chalk.
Yeah.
By saying
you said verbatim. These small conferences always go chalk. 6 1 seeds done.
Mm-hmm. So who's wearing the snorkel mask now? Ooh. A lot of this chalk is not necessarily a 1 seed.
Oh wow!
So teams like Merrimack, what seed were they? 2 seed. Are they still alive?
They are.
Just checking. Okay, just checking.
Cleveland State still alive.
How's Cleveland State, Milwaukee, and Northern?
Hey, what
Kentucky?
the fuck? I'm on them. What you can't cite this that I'm on Cleveland State here. Right?
We're all on Cleveland State.
I will say, Sean, if the early game results in Oakland losing, I can't lose the Horizon League, and I'm going to win a lot of money.
Let's go.
Minimum win if not Oakland is 4 football units.
I've been cleaning up over on cut.com and I got to admit it is fun seeing the profile icons of the people I'm taking their money from. And if you want to take my money, I got money in the streets. You want to fade Lehigh? Whoever that sad sack was that took Boston University, you just took an L, and I just took your money. That's what's great about Cut. The shit talking aspect of it is super fun. Use the promo code SGPN. You get a 10% bonus, and we're cooking up a bunch of fun bets for the tournament because not only is it head-to-head betting, the ultimate put your money where your mouth is platform, but it also they're great about listing any sort of bet. We got the conference tournament buzzer beater bet, which starts. If you're listening to this on Monday for Monday's game, still time to get in on that March 11th through 17th. So a lot of fun there. Cut.com promo code SGPN. Colby, what were you going to say?
Oh no, I was. You got very lucky that you started the Cut buzzer beater thing on Monday and not today because Arkansas State won at the buzzer. That would have already been one to start the week. I did have a
moment where when Arkansas State hit that buzzer beater, I'm like shit, and I checked the date. I'm like, oh, it's March 10th. All right.
I knew it because I knew it, but I was like, oh, you lucky fuck. It's a great thing. Get over to Cut.
You need to get your banker shoes on, kick them up on the table and start being, you want to move some liquidity around.
Well, and
be a market mover over on Cut.
And so you list your bet, right? And then for it to actually go, you have to have someone on the opposite side. And I've noticed there must be a bunch of guys like Kramer, because I'll list these bets like the day before, get no bites, and then like 35 minutes before tip, all my bets are action. So
nice.
I haven't had any. I know sometimes the complaints with exchanges is, oh, there's no one taking the other sides of these bets. I'm not getting action. Have not had that issue with Cut. It's been great getting down a bunch of action. And also too, like
I had a $2,000 bet on the Super Bowl. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not,
there is plenty of liquidity.
It's just like anything else. You got to have a match, but once you make that match,
and the prices are insane, like, getting minus 103, or something similar. Like it sucks when you're going 1-1. Let's say you're betting $200, and then you go 1-1, you're still down $20. Cut if you're pushing out with your win loss, you're not losing a ton of juice like you would be at somewhere else.
It's literally the future.
And actually, just think about it, like that extra $20 that you would normally be losing on the juice. That's great for putting in some crazy ass parlay.
You realize you guys would have lost today because Omaha beat North Dakota at the buzzer too.
Yeah,
it would have had 2 done on Sunday. You would have been, if you started this morning, it would have been over by tonight.
Shout out to Noah helping us get this going. Also, March Madness right around the corner. We got a free bracket contest with champs. You get a free entry, free chance to win $1,000. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/champs. And if you sign up to host your contest with them, it's free to sign up for that as well. You get an extra free entry, so you could get up to 2 free entries, $1,000 prize. I mean, you're entering all these contests anyway. Why not get the free entry and then also get that extra free entry? Host your pool over with champs. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/champs.
I see a comment in the chat about Joe is worried about first half unders.
Why?
Defense has been bad lately.
Well, Joe, that's why it's a tournament. That's why kids, playing in weird stadiums, weird sight lines, body clock issues. They don't know how to play these defenses that they normally play. And what I'm talking about, there's going to be a lot of games where this might be the kids' last time playing collegiate basketball, and everyone's going to be seeing them. So if you've ever played basketball, defense is an effort thing. If back in my rec league basketball days, a couple chicks coming out to watch the game, the defensive effort went up. So these are college kids. You don't want to be playing no slack defense in March Madness.
Did we miss your retirement from rec league basketball?
What do you mean?
Well, you said back in the day, like as if it's no longer happening.
You didn't see that press conference?
Yeah, come on.
I missed the press.
I hung him up.
It must have been on the same
only
night
me and CJ. Only me and CJ were there, but we did witness it.
Must have been when they raised the banner for the mock draft championship. All right. Yeah. So, do we want to anything else to get to before we start talking games?
Did you guys watch the SoCon game today? Not the both games, but specifically the East Tennessee State Chattanooga game. Oh my God, that game was insane.
Colby's rock hard.
Between that
Colby
and Colgate Lehigh, or not Colgate Lehigh, Boston Lehigh.
Boston Lehigh was. I'm people maybe think I'm joking, but it was one of the best basketball games I've seen in a long time. It was insane.
It's kind of why, like, this is college basketball actually allows you to demonstrate what Colby is trying to say when he says things like he loves bad football, because it's the fact that they're not the top level kids that makes the game more exciting.
No, I mean, in that Patriot League basketball game, it's probably a great example of it. There were 2 separate instances where guys from one guy on Lehigh, one guy on Boston, both went up, tried to dunk, and got rejected by the rim by like a solid, like not even close. It would be like me trying to dunk and just put it up there. I mean, just to see the run up and then just trying to slam it home. And it's not like, oh, hey, you're a little high and you missed the rim. Just all rim, like 50% of the ball underneath the rim. It was great. And then miss free throws, inbound passes going all over the place, tip balls, not being able to break the press. It was just, it's exciting as hell.
Well, I would argue, and I think what Kramer was trying to say is what I appreciate about bad football, or say bad basketball. Even though people, these teams will have winning records. I think I know Lehigh didn't because they had a bunch of guys injured throughout the year, but you actually get to see the strategy, like the game within the game. Like if you watch to me, that Bronco football game that I know we argued about forever. I love a shitty game like that because you can see the strategy that has to go with it through coaching. Both offenses couldn't move the ball for shit. You have to get really creative on how to do this. How are we going to win this game? And to me, that's where there's the value in the game. That's the value in the game, is you get to really see when you're watching the Big 12. Yes, you can see the strategy, but you see it to a lesser extent because the athletes are so good.
It's the combination of teams for some reason never having practiced breaking a press and just free throw legs happen every time. It's the same.
No, but sometimes it can be taking a timely charge They all take great charges. Like there is great adjusting to a 1-3-1, whatever the fuck it is. It's a lot of fun to me when you can watch those the lower leagues, or like I said, the football thing can happen anywhere. It can happen in the NFL, it can happen in college, can happen in high school, or wherever. But to me, when you see a game like that, when you have to go through the muck, you get to really see the strategy of it. Some of my favorite games are those games.
Seems that Joe in the chat doesn't believe that Sean had multiple chicks show up to watch him play rec league basketball at the same time during his active career.
Well, you'll have
Care
to
to
trust
comment?
Me. You'll have to trust me.
Okay, fair enough. All right, let's talk college basketball quickly.
Let's
Got a zillion games to talk about. Shout out to Russ Wilson. I cannot wait to see him and Mike Tomlin have a conversation.
No,
Towson.
Is that going to work out? No.
Towson heads to or Towson and Charleston face off. What round is this, Colby?
Winner goes to the championship or go to the NCAA tournament. Yeah.
Championship game.
Yeah.
That's generally what we call those things. Charleston laying 4.5. I mean they keep a good every time we talk about College of Charleston, we say they keep a good program. We riding them here?
No, they split in the regular season. Towson's very close to Washington D.C. I think they'll have the crowd, and I'll take a shot because Charleston's won 9. Anytime you win 9 in a row, you got to watch out, especially when this Charleston team hadn't been that great all year. Give me Towson in the points.
So let's review the game tape real quick. I know we have a lot to talk about, but Charleston, the 1 seed, still alive, picked by me as a future to win the entire conference. Now plus 200 in my pocket. What do I do, Sean? Do I just lay the 4.5 too? Because I'm confident. 1 seed.
You shouldn't feel too confident just because you beat a shitty Monmouth team
now.
Well,
it's
interesting because Towson lost at home to Charleston not too long ago, 16 at home on February 24th, but they beat Charleston in Charleston.
Oh, Colby, this is the semifinals.
18th.
This is the semifinals. So
I wouldn't recommend.
Colby lied to us. Oh, Colby, he's too erect. The
Stony Brook Hofstra game. Yeah. The Stony Brook
Colby,
Hofstra game.
Is this the finals? No.
All
right.
Jesus Christ, Sean.
I'm gonna take Towson.
But guys, I'm on baby time. I'm on baby. I slept like fucking 30 minutes in the past 24 hours.
What do you mean? Babies sleep great. That's why they came up with the expression "sleep like a baby."
That's true. I mean, look, I give him some of this Dant whiskey. You know what I mean? And
we can't. You don't actually. It's just a figure of speech. He doesn't actually feed his baby whiskey.
Okay.
Well, no, I'm just saying that for the people that would be offended.
Robitussin. That's what my parents gave me. I'm all over Towson here in the points. Second in the nation in offensive rebounding percentage. That's what I like at a college basketball team. You're going to get a scrappy Townsend program. I don't know. I don't necessarily like them. Towson.
Oh no.
I threw an N in there. I don't know if they're necessarily a live dog, but I do like them with the 4.5. This will be a 1-score game.
Kramer, how do you feel about fading the alma mater of Sean Landetta and Dave Meggett?
I don't have any. Literally has not entered my purview.
Well, I mean, you're a Giants fan, and they're very responsible for a lot of their Super Bowls. So I was curious.
Dave Meggett's a great Bill Parcells player. Sean Landetta, iconic single bar face mask.
He was great too. He was one of the best punters.
I'm on Charleston. I take the chalk, and I got a nice future on them. And I've revoked Colby's privileges of being asked what round in the tournament this game is. Sean, he got the first one wrong.
Sean, he doesn't love the Giants.
Colby, Ryan, we have to discuss
what happened here. Did you already take Charleston somewhere else?
No.
No.
A concerned listener reached out, and I shared this with Kramer.
Right. We better do this now.
Yes, before I forget. But this is courtesy of I don't even want to reveal his name.
No, we'll keep him anonymous.
But in the Discord, reached out to me personally and said, so on the college basketball show, Benedict Dantold's money line dog was Binghamton. Then on the college experience show today, he says, glad I didn't bet on Binghamton because New Hampshire beat the shit out of them. What the fuck is that shit?
Yeah. I picked Binghamton.
All right.
I picked Binghamton, but I mean, just because I pick you on this show, we do a limited amount of games, right? I mean, this is an easy explanation. Now, if you really want to talk about the Benedicting,
Okay.
let's throw the Binghamton shit out there because I was not going to ever bet Binghamton. Duke, Carolina, I Benedict.
What really? What did you take? When did you Benedict it? Because as of
the lines came out as we did the show. Do you remember this? Like the show, we were doing the show and we didn't have any proof of the lines. The shit just came out as it happened.
Yeah.
And
It went
I hadn't had enough time to think about that game, and I thought about that game over a couple hours, and I said, "What am I taking Duke for? North Carolina's a veteran team; they're gonna win this game. Duke's all young freshmen, and then the head of the pussy pack, Filipowski. I was like, Carolina's gonna win this game. So that's the one where I really Benedict, where I actually bet North Carolina.
So
so we tape the podcast. You take Duke. We do the Veasan show. You take Duke. And then on your show, you take North Carolina.
Well, to be fair, also the line went up from 4 to 5.5.
It did.
Yeah.
Did.
Okay.
That's he was threatening that Polish medal.
Well, even crazier is that I went on the grid saying what did you pick
on the grid?
I took Carolina money line.
Wait, come on! You can't do that. That's crazy.
Can we start getting it?
No, you can't do that. You can't do that. If you're gonna
guys, when those numbers come out just right away, like the live reaction, that's unfair. That's unfair because you have to think about the game. You have to do the deep dive on the game. You got to remember that you got swept a year ago. So when you just throw me that fucking hot potato, it's not going to work out sometimes. Not all the time. But I'm saying sometimes I'm going to give it some deep thought and I go, wait a second, this is a horrible fucking play. I have to take Carolina. They're a veteran team. They have fucking just seniors all over the fucking roster. They're going to win this game.
I got an idea. Content idea. We get one of those pick graphics. Like we were kicking around the template we used last year for the Final Four, for example.
Yes.
But instead of showing the Final Four, it's just Colby's pick on each appearance.
Yeah, the Colby pick tracker.
Now the Binghamton thing, like I stayed true to Binghamton. What are you talking about? There was no real dog that I thought
Colby,
was bet worthy. Yeah.
Okay.
A listener was concerned. That's all.
I'm sharing the concern of the listeners. Now, Kramer, remind me if I'm ever accused of a crime, do not let Colby be my attorney, because here's what he did. We bring up now. Dick Puncher pointed this out in the chat. Shout out to you, Mr. Puncher. But he goes, Colby's defense is known. You think that's picking both sides? Wait till you hear this. Like your defense was something way more egregious.
Look, I want to throw the flag.
If you go, hey, I gave out Binghamton money line on the show, but I didn't actually bet it because whatever, I didn't actually like any of those dogs. Fine, you don't need to pat yourself on the back for that. You know, maybe just don't bring it up. Or say, you know, but the
Duke one
thing is
that's because, and that's what I'm saying. I'm going to throw a flag on the play because you guys don't have to deal with this as much. I record more than you guys. Record more than you guys, and I'm on air all the time. So when I'm recording more than you guys, I get, the lines come out and I don't have enough time to think and do a deep dive on this shit.
Colby's having a meltdown.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I record more than you motherfuckers and I am figuring this shit out as it happens.
All right.
He's having an adverse reaction to springing forward last night.
We're 23 minutes in the show. We've picked one game. So
this was a hard hitting topic we were going to need to get into. I mean, do you have we need some forensic file music.
Oh man.
You guys have never had to do like the same games 7 times in a day. And you think that shit can change, especially when you get dropped them live on air. You think about the fucking game. You go, wait a second. Hubert Davis got swept by John Shire. Their whole team has fucking 5th-year seniors, right? Why the fuck would I take Duke here?
Me personally, I'm ready to go. NFL, 16 games, lock in the pick. Don't waver. Stand strong. I appreciate though. I appreciate being a market. He's a market dynamics guy, so he's playing both sides. It's put and call. With
Binghamton I played one
trading.
side. Back to the original. You can't play Benedict music when I didn't switch from fucking Binghamton. It's just there was no dog out there worth value. You know what I mean? You can't play Benedict music on the Binghamton. You play Benedict on the North Carolina fucking Tobacco Road thing. God, you fucking jackasses.
Make sure, Josh, lots of clips. Lots and lots of clips. All right. Next up, we're going to go to the Horizon.
I was just passing on a concerned fan.
The fan was concerned. He wanted to make sure you didn't hear something wrong and or you're going crazy. Cleveland State.
Colby's definitely not going crazy. That's
Cleveland State.
What are you talking about? I look like fucking Jeff Van Gundy. I got bags underneath my fucking eyes right now. All right.
I know. Colby lost an hour of sleep and he didn't have much to lose.
All right. Oh boy. All right. Cleveland State, Oakland, the Horizon League now in the semifinal round. As I mentioned earlier, I do have 3 out of the 4 team futures, but they head to Indy for the rest of the tourney. -6.5 for Oakland. They had a big break here too. I think the last time they played was Friday.
Yeah.
Cleveland State has.
Yeah.
Been
What the hell is that, by the way?
Cleveland State played on Thursday, right?
So they
is horrible for momentum. Like, what are they doing, Horizon League? It's going to take a week off.
Yeah,
Fuck is this?
It's the same. They're getting the same amount of rest as Oakland, so it could work either way. I mean,
to me, I'd be furious though if I was the team that was hot. You're just sitting there saying, "What are we doing here?"
You're right. It's probably not great for the underdog.
And the championship is on. I believe there's a day break, and then the championship on Wednesday. So they're really trying to milk this for some reason. Even though 10 conferences start their tournaments on Wednesday, let's save
we
our
want to
championship
compete with
game.
the ACC. I'm taking Cleveland State. I know their free throws haven't been great, but I love what I see out of this team. I got a future on them. I'm not going to back away now. I mean, they split with Oakland in the regular season, winning at home by 8 and then losing at home by 8. I think these teams are fairly well matched on a neutral court. I think they're going to be able to hang around. Knock on wood for the future bet, but 6.5 feels okay. Colby, what are you doing?
Well, both schools are complete pussies for not having football, especially Cleveland State. You are in fucking Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah.
The Hall of Fame, the Pro Football Hall of Fame is in Ohio. I mean, Ohio is a football state through and through, and you don't have a football team. Now, I'm still gonna back you, Vikings, because with this extra money, you better throw that money into your football program. Skull. Money line play. Let's go. Get this Oakland Grizzly bullshit out of here. I know Greg Campy's been coaching at Oakland since like 1975. All right, but who gives a shit here? He's got to go to the farmers market there in Indiana. What do you think an Indiana farmers market consists of, Kramer? You're a big you're a big vegetable guy. What are you doing here at the Indiana farmers market?
I would probably just have French fries.
I'd imagine there's a lot of handcrafted laundromat type services to get all those sheets cleaned. All right, I got Cleveland's.
Wow.
We
dark turn.
I was expecting a funnel cake answer, but it's okay.
We're trying to have fun. Ryan's.
What do you mean?
Ryan's getting serious.
Oh, there's nothing fun that happens in Indiana.
Now that Kareem.
Don't tell Jim Irsay that.
Now that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Colby, does Indiana State make it into the tourney?
Unfortunately, no, because and App State got fucked today too. They're both good. They both have 2 of the best records in college basketball. They're not going to make the tournament. And Sankey's going to expand to 96, and they're still not going to make the tournament. It's going to be fucking hilarious.
UVA's going to get in over Indiana State. No, thank you.
I think we light a candle for some teams like Indiana State on the.
I like that
on the show at the end of the week.
When we do the bracket release show, we'll hold a vigil for teams not in.
A selection Sunday
vigil
seance.
Oh, okay. Seance.
Maybe I was thinking we do it ahead of time. Give them positive juju. Harness the power of the witch. I am scolding my way on. If Cleveland State gets this upset done, baby, I'm gonna be feeling so good in the Horizon League. 4:30 p.m. on the West Coast. We're heading to Boise, Idaho, Montana State, and Weber State. Weber State laying 6.5 here in the Big Sky. Colby.
I mean, I don't know how you have to take Montana State. They just like Weber State needed that win the other day, and Montana State beat them right by 12.
Yep.
Weber State needed that to get the 2 seed. They ended up with this seed. And to me, the 1 seed, by the way, just lost tonight to Sac State, the worst team in the conference. Yeah. Welcome to college basketball. Yeah. And
wait, Eastern Washington's out? I missed that.
They're gone. They just lost to Sac State tonight.
That's great for my Montana State future.
That's what I'm saying. Montana State beat Weber by 12. Like maybe I've always thought that Weber's better than Montana State, but clearly they haven't proven it on the hardwood. So I think you got to take the points because Montana State. They were the team breaking in the new roster, the new coach, and they've to me have been playing better as the season's gone along. I know Weber was fired towards the end of the year, but not necessarily against great competition. They lost the games that they should have lost, and if anything, they were favored heavy in the Montana State game. So,
that was in Montana State was home. So maybe there's something there. I mean, Montana State when they went at Weber State, but that was December 30th.
But still,
they got work there. But I'm with you. I think you got to take the points. I mean, it's tough to beat a team back to back. I'm sure Weber State will be fired up with revenge on their mind, but 6.5 is a lot in this conference.
Yeah, I mean, Weber.
I'm sticking with Montana State.
Weber got drilled by Idaho State. They just didn't. Down the stretch, I mean, ironically, they beat Eastern Washington, but down the stretch, they were hot, but they beat a bunch of shitty teams. Lost to Montana, lost to Idaho State twice, and then lost to Montana State. So, I mean, I don't know. I just think you got to take the points in this game because Weber hasn't proven that they can win by that, especially that many points.
Weber is my pick to win the conference. I'm not going to do that weird thing where I take the other team to win the points, but Weber State's going to advance, lay the 6.5. Yeah. I think you guys, you kind of allude. So interestingly enough, both of these teams are horrible at offensive rebounding, but pretty good on offense. So it's kind of the bizarro fade the team who relies on the offensive rebounding efficiency. But yeah, I think we just watched this game. So moving along. Like I said, we have a zillion games to talk about, and we even have a write-in, last minute write-in because Colby's delirious and he's too busy making 4 picks on the same game instead of getting the rundown right. Santa Clara,
oh man,
it's the Las Vegas.
But I can make formula for a baby like a motherfucker. All right, let's go.
Oh yeah, I mean I'm. I think this is going to turn out to help Colby in the long run. He's going to create some refined processes. Santa Clara, St. Mary's. I would assume we're just headed towards a St. Mary's Gonzaga championship situation. I know you guys got cute with your futures and took some other teams. So why are we not laying the points with St. Mary's, Colby?
Well, let's start off with this being a what was it, a 5-point game last time they played?
And it's a look ahead spot. St. Mary's is like Kramer. They're already got their eyes on Gonzaga.
You got to, right?
And St. Mary's has kind of already solidified themselves into the NCAA tournament too. So it's like,
ooh,
yeah.
I feel like Santa Clara has all the motivation here.
Yep,
I think and St. Mary's may win the game. They are the better team. And I know they're coming off the loss, but like regional battle too. They know these bastards. You know what I mean? I think you take the 9.5 with Santa Clara in this wacky ass bracket.
Yeah. You think the game against San Diego wore out Santa Clara at all?
I mean, they did put it on former friend of the program, Steve Alford, but
Steve Lavin,
same difference. I'm on Santa Clara.
Steve Walsh is coaching Santa Clara, Sean. All right.
Not great with this.
Oh boy. I'm gonna lay the. I'm loving the favorites.
St. Mary's 67% from the line. Santa Clara is 71.5%. If you need anything to solidify your opinion, Ryan.
Well, I think
really, if you want, all joking aside, Santa Clara's number one at 3-point defense in the conference. St. Mary's needs to hit those threes. They're number one offensively shooting the threes. Defense beats offense in these situations. Santa Clara all day, and I actually think they're live here.
I like the points. Maybe they could be live. Sendek keeps it
now.
Yeah. Give me the points. Give me the
Colby
points.
does not. Colby's a little worried.
I thought about this all day today.
Okay.
What's that?
It's not like the Duke Carolina game. You guys are just throwing me shit out there.
Right.
Don't have time to react.
I just heard Colby give out a Benedict guarantee.
This is a Benedict guarantee.
This is a Benedict guarantee. All right, 6:30 p.m. on the West Coast. We're heading back to Indy for the other Horizon League game. Milwaukee, Northern Kentucky. I got both of these teams in the futures market, Sean. Not sure who to root for. Northern Kentucky laying 1.5. I think it's better for me. I think one of the futures is maybe 20-1, when one is 21-1. So there's a slight advantage, and I think it's Milwaukee with the longer odds. But boy, I would say I just want to watch this game and enjoy it. I don't know if I'm going to have a pick here, John. Pass. Colby, what do you think?
Well, that's very brave of you to pass the game.
Thank you.
I mean, dude, this was an overtime game. What earlier in the year? I feel like this is I mean, I'll go Northern Kentucky based on history. They, for some reason, I think it's 4 out of the last 6, if memory serves me correct, that they've won the conference tournaments. Every year you think they're done. You're just like, nope, they'll take out the 1 seed or the 2 seed just like that. And all of a sudden the Norse with their George Clooney blood money, they could figure it out. They figured it out. All right. I'm going to lay the 1.5. I think this is what the hardest game to call on the sheet, because I think Bart Lundy is a hell of a good coach at Milwaukee. When he came over from Queens, he's the reason why Queens is a D1 program now. And this is year 2 at Milwaukee. And I really believe like he's gonna get to the big dance. If not this year, then next year or the year after, because this program's heading in the right direction. So I think it's anyone's game. This is like the hardest game to pick on the sheet, but I'll go Norse just based on their track record in the Horizon. They own this conference.
I'm with you. Northern Kentucky is the play. I mean, they split with Milwaukee, but they beat Milwaukee by 18 at home, and then just a 1-point loss in Milwaukee. I think this Northern Kentucky team is just better. They match up better than Milwaukee. I know Milwaukee, pretty good offensive rebounding in conference, but you look at Northern Kentucky defense overall, 2nd in the conference, number 1 steal percentage defensively. I think you're going to be able to turn over this Northern Kentucky offense, which one of their weaknesses is turnovers. And in a close game, a couple turnovers here or there is going to make a difference. So Northern Kentucky laying the 1.5. Kramer,
just in looking at some of the Horizon League stuff, amazing how many games in this conference made it to overtime this year.
Dude,
exciting
that
stuff.
Conference, I almost wish like they don't market themselves right. We knew us 3 on the college basketball experience knew this conference tournament was going to be insane, because throughout the year, every game was fucking insane, man.
I got an idea for them. They should do the MAAC of college basketball, play all their regular season games at like noon or some daytime, like something in the middle of the day. Like people would love it. You go have a lunch, you watch the Horizon League game.
Just play it at weird times. All these weird days and times for these smaller conferences, because
nothing matters. Everything's remote. Nothing mattered. Everything's ephemeral. You just do whatever you want.
Education's never mattered at these places, right? It's Cleveland State. Come on.
I'm smelling another Viking or Scandinavian based parlay as we take the Norse here. I do think the Northern Kentucky is the better team. I also think they have played the better competition so far in the tournament. So maybe they're tuned up and ready to go a little bit more. All right. Moving along to Boise, Idaho, back to the Big Sky, Portland State and Montana, 7 p.m. here on the West Coast. Love this late night ball. Montana laying 7.5. Colby.
Well, I have a future on Montana, so I hope they get this done. I do think they are the best team consistently throughout the year, in the conference, including the non-con. But man, it's a big number. But I think you got to take the points. It's too big of a number. Like I think Montana's going to win the game. I think Montana's a clear-cut better team, but 7.5 is. And dude, you just saw the 1 seed lose to the worst fucking team in the conference. There's not a big gap in the Big Sky between top team and bottom team. Take the points in Portland State. Montana wins by 5.
I don't know. I'm a little worried. Are you a little worried about Portland State's offense, Colby?
I mean, I know you can point out the analytics, right? You can point out the analytics, but we saw Sacramento State. Sacramento State's been fucking horrible all year. They just beat the 1 seed. I'm telling you, the athleticism is, if anything, you could actually make a case that Portland State might be more athletic. But
well, and I would say one of Portland State's biggest wins of the season was at home against this aforementioned Montana team. They fucking destroyed Montana 72-46.
How does that happen?
So they're
because the Big Sky this year, there's no big gap. There's no big gap, man.
I think I'm with Colby. Portland State plus 7.5. Dog heavy card.
Yeah, I mean, look. How about the offensive rebounding side? Portland State's a top 100 team offensive rebounding. Montana's 306th out of 362 teams.
It's certainly. I mean, you really have to close your eyes and pray with this Portland State offense. Are you guys sure? Are you sure?
I'm feeling pretty good
because
I feel like Montana's just a lot better, but this conference, when you say a lot better, that's like 4 points better than the worst teams.
The loss you mentioned too, maybe Sean has them a little bit focused. Portland State, no, thank you. Give me Montana. Lay the points. I'll take the Grizz. Portland State does seem like some sort of hipster university.
Well, you know what this kind of does to you, buddy. You know what Portland State's mascot is?
What is it?
The Vikings.
Oh wait, hold on. Switch my pick. Switch my pick.
I knew it. This is gonna fuck up your whole MO. All right, your whole style there with the Norse and the Vikings.
If the research team could just star every team that has something to do with the Scandinavian.
Wait till the people of Portland one day eventually figure out that Portland State is the Vikings, a team. I mean, the most problematic mascot in all of sports.
Well,
all right, I didn't know you. What's up, Colby?
I mean, Portland might have a few individuals that smell like shit. I would imagine Vikings smell like shit.
That is true.
Yeah.
Also, if Portland State wins this game, they're apparently going to dump a bucket of cold brew on their head coach. So look out.
It's not the worst thing you could get up in Portland.
No,
I mean, I guess you check that cold brew for some
chickpea burger. Is that where you're going?
With fentanyl.
No, needles. San Francisco and Gonzaga face off in the semifinals of the WCC tourney. We'll be in beautiful Las Vegas, Sean, this Friday.
Yep.
A little VSiN show back at the Circa. Gonzaga laying 8.5 here. I much like I did in the St. Mary's. Nothing to think about. Just play the chalk. We're gonna nothing to see here. The Dons. I mean, last time they played on a neutral court, my God, and it was in the home city of the Dons. No, thank you. Lay the points. Colby?
Yeah, but that wasn't really that wasn't their actual stadium.
No, I thought that's my point. Well, it's a neutral site in your state, in your city. Now you're in a different city.
And they're clearly not taking sports serious by scheduling that game there. They knew that could be a pivotal game, and they decided to take. That was a money grab. Did you watch that game too? That was a Gonzaga crowd because all the Gonzaga fans said, "Hey, we get to go to San Francisco. These tickets are easy as fuck because they're playing at a gigantic arena."
Yeah.
They canceled their football program. They're terrible. All right. And give me Gonzaga minus the points because Gonzaga is in fuck you mode. They know they don't want to leave it up to the committee. They need to get there. Zags. Mark had a few is going to get it done.
Well, if Mark had a view in Las Vegas is concerning, but hopefully they got there.
Don't worry. His German Shepherds aren't there. They're great drinking companions. As a guy that has a Shepherd, great drinking companions.
Yeah.
Oh, good drinking. And they know when to keep their snout shut. not gonna narc him out. He's been drinking, officer. I took the Dons pre-flop, as they say in the biz. I'm gonna stick with the Dons. Look ahead spot for Gonzaga. Both Gonzaga and St. Mary's looking ahead to the championship game. Not so fast.
Yes.
Santa Clara and San Francisco have something to say.
Oh wow! Ultimate look ahead parlay right there.
Yep.
All right. Colby crowbarred one more game on here because he didn't want to leave out the Sun
and
Belt
it's a real
championship.
I know I fucked up the other one, but I think this one is a real championship. Yes. I know it's hard to tell championships these days. You got the Intercontinental belt, you got the World Championship belt. It's always what?
Arkansas State, James Madison, JMU laying 7. Just real quick because I know we're keeping good close tabs on this, but did I not give out? Oh no, is JMU chalk? JMU might be chalk. And did I pick JMU to win it all? Yes,
you got so lucky. Arkansas made that shot because App State's fucked up JMU the 2 times they've done this, but. What are you going to do when a 30-3 team loses tomorrow and doesn't make the NCAA tournament? I mean,
I'll cry for them.
That should never happen. First off, if this ever happens, that should never happen. If you go 30-3 and one of your wins is at Michigan State and shit, like you should have an auto bid. You should have to me, like once you approach 26 wins, you should have a fucking auto bid. You should have an auto bid. All right.
JMU laying 7. I got him plus 135. I mean, is that a good price, Sean?
What's up?
I got him plus 135 on the money line. Is that a good price?
Yeah, it's not bad.
That's pretty good. Huh?
They lost to. Oh, sorry. I was looking at.
No, JMU won by 4. They won by 4 on February 7th.
Close game. I'm actually with Kramer. I'm going to take James Madison so we don't have to hear Colby.
I'm with you. Actually.
Colby sob about James Madison not getting in. They're a very good team. They're going to win. They're going to get in.
Arkansas State, you saw Little Cock do this. Arkansas Little Cock. They were the 1 seed. They got hot towards the end of the year. They got to the championship game and they folded. All these Arkansas schools are phony, and I'm not buying into this Arkansas State. App State dominated the second half. They just were asleep in the first half. That's why they lost. JMU minus the points. Let's go.
Could be my first chalky cash of the. I don't know if the Colgate game. Yeah, it could be my first chalky cash of the year, Sean. So,
enjoy your chalk, Ryan. Hey, we're gonna do a best segment or best bet segment for March 11th because we got a bunch of these conference tournaments. A lot of those games are tipping off on the 12th. So here are our best bets for Monday, March 11th. Kramer, what do you got?
Well, let's see. I do love that I was informed that Portland State also Vikings, but not putting them in this section. I'm a Horizon League specialist. It does seem lock Northern Kentucky minus 1.5. Yeah. Classier team to me. Dog Cleveland State on the money line. And lock number 2. James Madison rolls. Let's go. Lay the big number. JMU cashes for me at plus 135 on the conference future.
Yeah, kicking it over to me. I got the Montana State future. I do believe in this Montana State team. I'm going to take them. Montana State on the money line to get it done against Weber State. I think Santa Clara is a good team. I think they're going to catch St. Mary's sleeping at least a little bit. 9.5 is too high. Give me Santa Clara plus the points there. And I'm with you, Kramer. Northern Kentucky, those Vikings. That's going to be a tough out. I think what's up?
They're the Norse.
What is the Norse?
Northern Kentucky. They're the Norse.
Okay.
But Norse are people from Scandinavia, just like Vikings.
All right.
But they're not the Vikings. It's
what? Okay. All right. So now that we got
Sean,
that sort of
Sean, the Vikings never raped or pillaged anything.
Well, the Kirk Cousins certainly did. Northern Kentucky minus 0.5, like that spot against Milwaukee. Colby?
The locks. Let's go with it's Cleveland State. Cleveland State plus 5.5. I know.
I think we got it 6.5 right now.
Whatever. Okay. I mean, can you imagine if we really had Vikings at a farmer's market?
Burn that thing to the ground.
Let's jump in on that, and let's jump in on Montana State and the points against Weber. Montana State, obviously they've gotten better as the season's gone along, and this is a guy that they lost Danny Sprinkle. They break in the brand new head coach Matt Logie. They've just done better as the season's gone along. Even in their losses, to me, they're passing the eye test more and more. I think they stay within this number. The dog is the team that's practically at home. Towson Tigers against Charleston. Charleston, I understand. They're gonna be needing to hire a head coach at the end of the year. I fully believe, but Towson's at home. Towson's beat them once in Charleston. Towson just knocked off Wilmington. Charleston beat Monmouth. There is a big difference. Towson played a very good team and won. Charleston played an average team and won. I think Towson, with the home crowd behind him, gets it outright. Let's go Tigers.
And what was your second lock, Colby?
My second lock was Montana State.
Oh, Montana State.
Cleveland State, Montana State. My dog was Towson.
Montana State plus 6.5. I'm with you. I like that. Cleveland State. Oh, they're both 6.5. Okay, that was what was throwing me off.
Hate that Townsend pick.
Well, all right. I threw an N in there. Jesus Christ, pronunciation police. Colby, I'm with you. This guy's really pushy. We got to get rid of Kramer. He's busting everyone's balls. Hey, Underdog Fantasy. If you guys haven't signed up with Underdog Fantasy, been playing some of these college basketball pick'ems, you are missing out. UnderdogFantasy.com. Promo code SGPN. Like I said earlier in the show, just cashed our sweet Tyson Degenhart lower 16.5 points. And then Dawson Garcia came in at 15.5 points, smashed the higher. He put up 30, even though they lost by what was it? Jeez, they got their ass kicked by Northwestern. Put up 90 points. Did not see that coming at all, but didn't matter. 2 picks. One is $300 on a $100 wager. Colby, $100 entry. What do you got for tonight's slate? What do we like? College basketball pick'em.
That Garcia play all year. I feel like I don't understand where they're getting their numbers.
So good.
But, cause he's like 80% of their offense. I feel like. Let's go to, well, I think, well, no, let me see about this because
we all like Cleveland State. Do we fade maybe someone on Oakland?
They can score though. Oakland can score. Let's go to the likes of the WCC.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big Police Academy guy. Aiden Mahoney. I know it's Mahaney, but it's Mahoney in my mind. I'm going to take the lower 22.5 PRA.
I'm with you because I know the Gales are favored. I know everyone's going to be talking them up, but I think Santa Clara can slow them down a little bit. I'm with you. Aiden Mahoney lower 22.5 PRA.
Yeah, and then if you want to jump down to the other side of things in the WCC, the Zags take it on the Dons. I think there's an opportunity to take the higher on Ryan Nebhard. 13.5 points.
Does feel a little low. I'm on the Dons, but all right, yeah. Ryan Nebhard can get 14 points. We'll still be okay. So lower Aiden Mahaney, 22.5 PRA. Ryan Nebhard, higher 13.5 points.
Sean, when it came to Police Academy, were you a Mahoney or a Tackleberry or a Hightower or a Motormouth Jones guy?
I forget. I've the only guy I remember from Police Academy is Bobcat Goldthwait. Unfortunately.
What? That's like number 4. He didn't even show up to like number 4.
I know it bums you out that I'm not the Police Academy.
No.
Unfucking believable.
No.
They made 8 of them, Sean. You couldn't catch up to 8 of them. COVID was a thing that happened. What did you do during COVID?
If there's another forced lockdown by the government, maybe I'll get to these police academies.
Unbelievable.
I mean, worth noting, Colby, I still haven't seen Breaking Bad.
Wow. Right. Do you know who Tackleberry is, Kramer?
Yeah, I could probably point him out in the lineup. All right, so so we winner. We got the lower higher combo. We're gonna get this one in the bag. All right, let's head over to. We have 5 tournaments. We're gonna rattle through them quickly, Colby. But these all start on Tuesday, March 12th. So we're jumping ahead of it because the college basketball is doing something diabolical, and they're starting 10 conference tournaments on Wednesday, March 13th. So maybe take the day off or catch a little of that. Or I don't know. It's tough though. You want to save it for next week, but it's also going to be an excellent couple days.
Are you guys sure you want to change that cut buzzer beater thing to 2.5 after seeing how many tournaments start?
I feel good.
Okay.
I feel
Take
good.
the over if you dare.
I feel good. All right. Big 12 tourney, best conference of them all? Question mark. Let's take a quick look at the futures odds. We got Oklahoma State and West Virginia, the 13 and 14 seeds. They're at 1,000 to 1, Sean. UCF, the 12 seed. They were frisky at home from time to time. Even had a nice road win in conference, 500 to 1. Wow. Kansas State, excuse me, the 10 seed is 300 to 1. Cincinnati, the 11 seed, 200 to 1. Oklahoma, the 9 seed, 100 to 1. TCU, interesting, 8 seed, 65 to 1. Texas, the Longhorns, horns down, 30 to 1. Texas Tech, the 4 seed, all the way down here at 20 to 1. BYU, the 5 seed, 25 to 1. Kansas, the 6 seed, 12 to 1. Baylor, the 3 seed, 8 to 1. Iowa State, the 2 seed at plus 280. And Houston, newcomers to the conference, favorites to win the conference tournament, minus 135. They've certainly, I mean, the way they whooped Kansas's ass.
Oh man, that was a great lock.
I mean, Colby, what was the nugget? It was the first time Kansas had been beaten by 30 points in the Big 12 in 20 plus years.
Yeah, and the first time they've been held under 50 points, I think, in like 25 years.
God.
Yeah.
How embarrassing! I mean, that's
what happens when you put an AAC team in the Big 12. If they gave East Carolina the call, hate to fucking tell you this, East Carolina would come in there and fuck these little pussy schools up. Let's go.
The Big 12 conference tournament is being played in the beautiful city of Kansas City, which, of course, Sean, we learned cures hangovers. The water at least does. So I mean, I think. Oh, and also worth noting, they do a double bye system. So top 4 teams essentially have buys into the quarterfinals. Next 4 essentially ish. It's actually next 6 teams have a bye, and then you have 2 playing games. So you see the staggered odds. That's essentially how many games are you playing. The only real outlier in that regard is probably TCU. TCU kind of sticking out like a sore thumb there in the odds. What are you doing in this one, Colby? You taking the chalk in Houston?
Not at all. I think you have to take the south side of the bracket.
No.
Because Houston lost to TCU, and that could be their first opponent. I kind of think it will be their first opponent since TCU just lost to UCF. That's a scary game for them. And then that the south side, I think you see opportunity because Iowa State's, even though they're improved, they just lost to Kansas State. So if Kansas State beats Texas, now granted Texas is super fucking talented. So I mean, if you were doing this just on roster, I think there's incredible value on Texas and Kansas. But and I actually think, the more that I think about it, I think we should probably give me the Jayhawks.
Whoa.
Because they have that crowd. It's in Kansas City.
Yeah,
that is true.
Kansas City's in Missouri for what it's worth.
Still, they're half the fucking Missouri is fucking Kansas fans, and there's a Kansas City in both. Just so you know,
it's true.
Right?
They're border towns.
I think
you got to go Jayhawks. What's that?
I'm going Baylor and Texas.
Ooh.
Baylor and Texas. I see the case for the Jayhawks. The fact that they're 12 to 1 certainly makes them intriguing, but they do have to play an extra game at least compared to Baylor. I've liked this Baylor team all year. I think they're pretty good. And then Texas, I mean, Texas has the offense. You know, you look at their number 1 in effective field goal percentage in the conference. And I think they can hang with anyone. And same thing with Baylor. Baylor number 1 in offensive efficiency. Like I think the formula, you almost have to outscore a Houston team that's going to be a tough out. So I like 2 darts here at some longer shot.
I don't mind the Texas play or the Kansas State play from the 7-10. Kansas State just beat Iowa State this past weekend.
Kansas State's 300 to 1. That's
you're
crazy.
reading my notes, Colby. This is the Big 12. You gotta play some funny stuff in this one.
The Kansas one though is free money, guys. They are gonna have the crowd. They beat Baylor. in the fog. Well, this is going to be the closest thing to the fog.
All right.
And then the fact they don't play Houston to the championship, Houston has to go through teams that beat them.
All right, Colby's convincing me to take Kansas. So I got Kansas at 12-1, Texas at 30-1. What else are you doing, Ryan? Are you doing some? Do we play?
Give me Kansas State 300-1.
Jesus.
Texas 30-1.
Okay.
I'm playing both sides of that one. I'm also going to play TCU 65-1. I think to Colby's point, there's a possibility there. And then, the more that I think about this, Houston, I mean, if I was involved in if I was a fan of Houston, I would want them to lose.
Yeah, it doesn't really help them with their seeding.
I don't know if this is the kind of chalk you take. So I like the way that Colby's talking about Kansas. So add them into my portfolio.
Well, another thing is like, do you remember
real quick? Now what I've effectively done, if TCU, I got Kansas State and Texas, who are one of them is going to play Iowa State. I also got Kansas, and then on the top I got TCU. I'm loaded. I'm loading the Big 12, and I got long shots. I like this. All right, sorry. What were you saying, Colby?
Well, I was going to say like the Dickinson injury thing could be when he got injured. I want to say last year at Michigan, they actually had a better record, I think, without him, if memory serves me correct. That could be a blessing in disguise in a way, considering how talented we know Kansas is. I think you got to sprinkle Kansas. I think to me, I'll take some action on TCU because they beat Houston before. They are a team that is on the bubble. They have to win.
Yeah. We've been teeing this up all year, Sean. Ever since we watched them get lucky against Baylor.
I'll take a third. I'll take a third on the Texas Longhorns, as disgusting as it is.
Oh my God, TCU and Texas.
They're the most paid roster. Disgusting act. They got guys. I don't understand how they're this fucking bad.
Matthew McConaughey on the bongos. Freaky deaky, man. The Longhorns gonna ride.
The Minister of Culture.
Horns up. Hook 'em horns.
Horns down. All right.
It's so fun to do that. But so Colby and I both, you guys talked me into TCU and Kansas. So, which I kind of was going Kansas Baylor. Colby bringing up the home court thing won me over. So,
say it
well, that's why
proudly.
K-State makes sense. Part of me is like, fuck, are we fucking up not taking K-State? But Texas is so talented.
I'm on K-State.
I know. I was talking to Sean.
But Sean,
we don't need any.
It's a 0. Think about that. It's a 300-1. Like, just all right.
I'll put it in.
I'm not having to worry about the outcome. We want to fade Iowa State the next round. That's the point. And then it builds our position against Kansas, whose path at that point should be paved. So we have two teams in the semifinal, just like I do in the Horizon League.
Beanick, was it 2 years ago that Dickinson got hurt? One of the years I feel like Dickinson missed like a week, but they played better. Maybe
let's
I'm
go direct.
crazy.
Let's go direct to our dick expert. He's got his pulse on the dick. Was it the cock or the dick? I forgot.
I want a dick rubbed on me tonight.
I think it was a throb.
Brian, we're trying to talk Big 12.
I thought he had his pulse. It was the pulse of a throbbing dick. Okay. First round. Let's go.
Wait, Colby, are you in on Kansas State?
No, let's just stick with what we have.
All right.
TCU, Texas, Kansas.
All right. I'm deleting Kansas State. So I'm sticking with what Colby and I have. If remember, you can get the sheet on Patreon. If any of this was unclear, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon.
You die with that Benedict motherfucker. Oklahoma State.
No, it's different. He means it this time.
And who's really Benedict? He faded Towson. All the giant Super Bowls, all the real Super Bowls were done by Towson grads. He's fading fucking Towson.
I'm on record. Townsend is the Radford of Maryland. 9:30 a.m. on Tuesday, March 12th. Like I said, Kansas City, Missouri, Oklahoma State, the 13 seed, UCF, the 12 seed, UCF laying 3.5. I mean, my gut reaction to this one is UCF seems like it's too short. They're a better team. And then you go look at how they've done recently. It's like, man, I feel like we only talked about them when they were getting some of their dubs because they really dropped some games down the stretch. But then you look into where they dropped the games, and it's excusable. I think this is a massive step up for Oklahoma State. and they recently beat Oklahoma State on the road. I'm in. Lay the chalk. I mean, I guess obviously I'm laying the points.
The problem is UCF is so bad in conference.
But they just beat Oklahoma State's worse, and they just beat Oklahoma State.
A little bit of a revenge factor
on the road.
They beat them in Oakland. I'll take UCF.
This number stinks.
I don't feel great about it though. Colby, what are you doing?
Give me Earl Boykin and his Earl Boykin, Mike Boynton in his final game. I think they can cover this, and I think the players will get up for them, and I think they'll have a home edge. UCF doesn't know they're gonna. I wish I could quote Blazing Saddles right now, but I don't think UCF knows that Kansas City has a Missouri. Is in Missouri. I think they're thinking Kansas City, Kansas.
Oh boy.
And Oklahoma State gets it done.
Interesting geography lesson there. Yeah, come on. And these, just so everyone's clear, these are Prick Dundee numbers, correct?
Correct.
All right. Noon on Tuesday, March 12th, West Virginia, the 14 seed. Poor MAAC. He's so invested in the program, and this team just let him down. Cincinnati, the 11 seed, laying 8.5.
They just played the other night, guys, and Cincinnati won by like 40. Yeah,
they lost. They lost by 36.
Did you see what happened there?
No.
Didn't things get chippy?
Well, Bob Huggins showed up decked out in all red.
Oh boy.
Part of the Cincinnati. Oh my God. Part of the Cincinnati crowd wearing a red. Yeah, it was.
You want to talk a Benedict?
Yeah.
Benedict Bob Huggins over there.
Was anyone throw a dick at him?
Now, did he know he was in Cincinnati?
That's the other part of Cincinnati. That's the other part of Cincinnati.
Did he realize he was in Cincinnati? No, he could have just made a wrong turn. He's not great with directions.
That's true. But I imagine there's a lot of Burger Kings in Cincinnati. That was my favorite part of the story. It's like they're just fucked up at a Burger King. This is me at 19 years old. Bob Huggins a fucking genius, as far as I'm concerned. He managed to stay 19 forever. Nothing like having 30 beer cans in your car and being super fucked up, asking for directions at a Burger King. I would never come at anyone. Would never come at anyone that's in that position. To me, if anything, they're winning at life. Yeah, I'll lay it with Cincinnati though, because clearly, I worry about the West Virginia situation right now.
They seem like a broken team.
Yeah.
Imagine the good times that MAAC must have had with Bob Huggins that he hasn't told us about. That
how many Burger Kings has MAAC been? Can we go to cut and set an over under on how many Burger Kings MAAC has been to with Bob Huggins?
I will say, if things happened in the circle of trust, MAAC has done a good job not sharing them with us. So.
Well, that's why we're hanging out in Vegas.
Bob, if you're listening, he stayed loyal to you through and through. All right. There's the rest of the tournament will then proceed on Wednesday and wraps up on Saturday. So they get done a day early. I know that was the hot topic a couple of years ago. Like, do you end early? Do you wait till the end so you're on the marquee? I feel like if I was in a conference, I'd want my team to end on Saturday, get that extra day rest. All right, let's head over to the ACC, the Atlantic Coast Conference. Some say the conference is down this year, Colby. Let's take a look at the odds.
Some would say they've been down ever since they added all those shitty Big East teams.
Oh, wow. I mean, I was fine staying in the Big East personally. Louisville, 15 seed, 250 to 1, along with Notre Dame, the 12 seed, and Georgia Tech, the 13 seed. Boston College, the 11 seed, 190 to 1. And then we got a pretty big drop in odds after that. Miami, the 14 seed, 90 to 1. Florida State, the 9 seed, 60 to 1. NC State, the Pussy Pack, 10 seed, 50 to 1, along with CUSA, the 7 seed. Va Tech, hate when people say that, 8 seed, 32 to 1. Pittsburgh, the 4 seed, 16 to 1. Virginia, the 3 seed, 13 to 1. Clemson, the 6 seed, plus 950. Wake Forest, the 5 seed, plus 750. And then you got the official contender class, plus 190. UNC Duke, plus 180. Where are you going on this? And all right, ACC, also a double bye system. So the top 4 seeds effectively in the quarterfinals. And a number of other teams, 3 other teams have a single bye. The games are being played. Remember when they used to go up to Brooklyn and play the ACC tournament? That didn't make much sense. DC not much better. I mean, how are they not playing this in North Carolina somewhere? That it just doesn't seem. It seems.
Wait,
off.
it's DC this year?
It's in DC.
Why did I think it was in Greensboro? Are you sure about this?
Unless the ACC is wrong on their own website.
Yeah, I think maybe it's next year. That's Greensboro. Interesting. That changes the handicap a little bit.
Ooh. So what are you doing?
Well, I'm looking at this shitty conference and I'm trying to figure out where the value is, and because
I got a couple ideas.
Yeah, fire away.
Well, obviously I'm taking Syracuse 50-1 and shop around. I'm my beard's going to be firing on 65-1. So do your due diligence on that one. Again, Syracuse, that Clemson game notwithstanding, which they really didn't show up defensively. I think I've seen some nice things out of this Syracuse team. Historically, they've had runs in these kind of tournaments. Now I understand that was the Boeheim era, but certainly at 50-1, 60-1, I think is a fun sprinkle because they need this to get into the tournament. They're a desperate team and they have some good guard play. So them getting hot, I don't think is completely out of the question. Other team, we've seen this Miami team not too long ago. Jim Larinaga led this team on some pretty crazy runs. What better way to fix your entire season than by going on a little bit of a run here at 90-1?
This is a bold play. This is a bold
play. It's a fun long shot. So give me Miami and Syracuse.
There was a timeout, I think 2 games ago for Miami, where the whole team, pivotal point in the game, Boston College game, the whole team is sitting there and Larinaga clearly hates them so much. He's not even entering the huddle of the timeout. He's sitting there going like this and just looking into the fucking crowd. I'm not sure he's going to coach there next year. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. I know their NIL collective is crazy. So, I mean, I think that's part of the problem. If you look at USC football, I know that I've heard rumblings here that, part of the things were certain players, backup wide receivers making more than starting wide receivers. That's going to be this new element of college sports that we're heading into. Yeah. You might miss a block. You might miss an assignment if you feel a little pissed that all of a sudden Nigel Pack's making $1 million more than you. So I think the Miami plays crazy to me because I feel like whatever's happening there is that talent wise. Maybe this is worth it, Sean.
Right.
But
so that's why. Listen, they're 15-7 on Saturday, February 3rd, and then they've lost 9 games in a row, and it's been a complete disaster. I get it. But I still think Jim Larinaga is a good coach. I still think they have a shit ton of talent. And the tournament, we've seen this before of teams with good talent that have had frustrating regular seasons get hot because they do have decent talent. They've been given a reset. You're given a whole new life, and they are a well-coached team. And on the quick turnarounds, good head coaches thrive. Now, certainly you laid out a great case of why this team sucks, and it's 90-1 for a reason. But I'm just taking a couple long shot sprinkles in this conference tournament because I think it's really a crapshoot. And Duke and UNC at +190 and +180. While I understand why they're favorites, like both of them, it's going to be a pretty contentious path, and I don't see the price making sense there.
Let me sell you on 2 that makes sense.
Okay, I'm listening.
Pitt at their odds. Pitt's scratching for the NCAA tournament. Like they have something to play for.
Pitt's in the quarterfinals already. Like the odds are so out of whack with them here.
Yeah.
Even as much as I hate you, I mean UVA's broken, but even UVA's odds are a bit out of whack for me.
I actually like Clemson's odds. I'm gonna go Pitt and Clemson as my 2 plays because if you're looking at the bracket here, it makes a lot of sense here because Clemson is a super senior ridden team. Virginia, yeah, could they beat Clemson? But I kind of think Clemson is a better basketball team than Virginia. So I like Clemson's chances to get through, obviously against Miami or Virginia, and then, Miami or Boston College, and then Virginia after that. And then that puts them on a collision course with Duke, essentially. Even though I do think NC State is going to beat Louisville, and I think NC State is way more talented than Syracuse, but Syracuse will probably win the game because NC State's NC State. But I like what was my reason for benedicting Duke? Duke is super young. Clemson is the opposite of Duke. Clemson has all their fucking team is veterans. So I like Clemson's chances against Duke, especially in Washington, DC. If this is Greensboro, Duke's going to have that crowd, but in DC, I think it's a little more neutral. So I'll take a shot on Clemson. I think that path is pretty great. And then I think Pitt, North Carolina, obviously is a huge game, but Pitt with the way they can, they've won some big games. They won in Cameron Indoor. The way they hit the three when they're on like they could beat Carolina. I think those are the two best plays.
Yeah, you talk me into Pitt. I'll take it. And also, as Kramer pointed out, they're already in the quarterfinals. So Pitt 16-1, add it to my portfolio. Kramer, what are you doing? It sounds like you're also on Pitt.
Pitt was the angle that I had. It just, I understand that they wouldn't get Duke. They're not on Duke's side, so that's probably, you would like it better if they were on Duke's side, but.
I will say this
after the judges.
I'll say this. Here. Alfred 44 said Wake just looked better than Clemson yesterday. That was in Winston-Salem where they're 15-1 or 16-1, right? We were on that. I took Wake. Clemson against Wake in DC. Wake was horrible on the road. Meanwhile, Clemson won at Carolina. Don't just think because they won on. Yeah.
I like Colby's angle with Clemson. I'll copy Clemson. I'll go Pitt and Clemson.
Pitt and Clemson.
Two teams I hate. I hate both these coaches. I hate both these teams, but it just makes a lot of sense. I'm not betting on Duke or Carolina. Sorry, not getting chalky today. All right. Any other futures to throw out?
No.
Sean went really far. I mean, the Miami play is hilarious. It's
watch.
Oh, I hope so. I hope so. For you and your beard. All right. Tuesday, March 12th. We're at again DC. You be careful, Colby. I believe the Illuminati may be strong in that city, so Duke may have a couple fans in attendance. Georgia Tech, the 13 seed, Notre Dame, the 12 seed. Georgia Tech laying a point here. Winner of this game goes on to face Wake Forest, who then would go on to face Pitt. What are you doing here, Colby?
Man, I think I'm going to go Notre Dame. Georgia Tech is way more talented than Notre Dame, but Notre Dame, this is the type of game Notre Dame wins. Like this is just the type of game Notre Dame wins. Georgia Tech's in year one of Damon Stoudemire's era. Notre Dame's in year one of the Shrewsbury era, but this is where I do think having your history, Shrewsbury's a Matt Painter guy, which we should probably fade him based off that being March. But I just think Notre Dame can muck it up. Georgia Tech, I was all over UVA yesterday against Georgia Tech, one of my better plays of the day. And I thought it was simple. If you can find a team that plays like Georgia Tech has beaten Duke and Carolina this year, right? And Wake. But they all play they try to like mimic NBA basketball. If you could find teams, essentially Tony Bennett, what he runs at Virginia is like what Paul Johnson ran at Georgia Tech, believe it or not. It makes you unorthodox. It makes you have to, like, possessions become so key because they hold on to the clock so long. And I think Notre Dame is very good at doing that. I think Shrewsbury did that at Penn State. I think that's part of Purdue's success with Matt Painter. I'll take Notre Dame to beat Georgia Tech because they make them play a game they're uncomfortable with.
The Shrewsberries taste like Shrewsberries. I'm going to keep running that joke into the ground. I'm with you though. Notre Dame's defense in conference is actually really good. Now, certainly their offense is dog shit, but they're 2-0 against Georgia Tech this season.
Yeah.
I think it's just a bad matchup for Georgia Tech.
That's the handicap.
I mean, it's not, it wasn't, Notre Dame's a better team, better matchup.
Damon Stoudemire has to learn. I think Damon Stoudemire could work out, but he's going to have to learn how to coach against the other style. You know what I mean? Like, it works great when you're playing just run up and, when you're playing just like NBA. Damon Stoudemire comes from being an assistant with the Boston Celtics. And I don't know that he's there yet. College is different. College, like, you have to learn how to coach these college teams. Like, when you play a Notre Dame or a Virginia or, Texas Tech or something, it's completely different than an NBA approach.
1:30 on the West Coast again. This is Tuesday, so we're jumping ahead in the time machine here. Louisville take on the Pussy Pack. This feels like something dangerous could happen. Keep the whiskey away from the Louisville fans if they're going to be playing with the Pussy Pack. NC State laying 10 here. Colby, I assume this is an unfortunate situation where you have to lay the points with the Pussy Pack.
I mean, you can never lay 10 with the Pussy Pack, man. I know they won by what? 6 the last time they played? The fuck out of here. Pussy Pack is gonna, dude, I'm telling you, you want to talk about crazy. I know Louisville is lost 7 straight and Kenny Payne's already got the house on the market.
Yeah. I was going to say
10 points.
Have they laid 10 points against anyone in conference this year? Maybe Louisville, but Louisville covered. Yeah.
Give me the cards to cover this is especially if it's not in Greensboro. This changes a lot, man. This changes a lot. Like I actually think Louisville's live.
I mean, is there any chance they just show up for the game? Literally nothing to play for this Louisville team. They've been the definition of ass all year. They have a couple 3 wins in conference, 3.
And one was almost NC State.
Yeah, that's true.
I watched that game, guys. I watched that game. That was a 2-point game with a minute left. Give me the cards.
All right. That feels like an overreaction. I'm going to lay it with the Pussy Pack here. I see between Colby's rational bullshit. Clear emotional play.
No, I
lay the massive. He made the number super big for himself so he wouldn't take NC State. That's what he did here.
It's next level.
I just want to remind everyone these are Prick Dundee numbers.
I'm with Colby. Louisville plus 10. I do. Louisville. What do they have to play for? Their pride. No, I get it. They suck, but NC State shouldn't be laying 10 points against it.
Oh, they are. Well, that's also maybe a true statement, but I'm gonna lay it. I'm handicapping the handicapper here, Sean.
Yeah, right, and cocky runner in the chat is inaccurate. Uh-oh. I had a fire day yesterday, so if you're gonna come in here spitting facts, be fucking accurate. All right. 2 days ago, I had a losing day. Yesterday, I was fire. All right.
But wait, did Benedict have which one of your characters? We need Noah to get this all straight. Create a report for us. Miami, the 14 seed, they're taking on Boston College, the 11 seed. A true battle of the private schools. Miami laying 1.5. Sean, Sean's on him because he's got him winning the whole big thing.
I actually like Boston College here.
Oh wow!
No, I'm kidding. Miami is due to wake up. Love Miami.
Due to wake up. Nice.
Just watch. Tune in.
I think Colby may be onto something with this Miami team, and just in terms. I mean, we talked about how bad. We were just talking about how bad Louisville is. One of their 3 wins in conference was against Miami.
Yeah, no. You look at the second half of the season; it's been complete dog shit. This is Larinaga taking the team out to the woodshed, kicking their ass, locking them in the shed. Actually doing that, unlike some coaches who were accused of it and didn't actually do it. Miami laying 1.5 all day.
Oh no, the wrong team favored. Give me Boston College.
Yeah,
you can't take this Miami.
I haven't bet on Boston College. I haven't bet on Boston College athletics since 1993, and I think I'm on board here. Give me BC to get the dub.
You're a big Tom Coughlin guy. I get it.
Glenn Foley, man, they won in South Bend.
If only we could get Colby to show up 5 minutes early to something. All right, head over to the Atlantic 10. The A10 used to be so glorious, and now it's rotted into a skeleton of teams who are kind of interesting, and that's where it stops. We'll call them the leftovers. Long shots here. We move the ACC tab out of the way because we have another tournament with effectively a double bye system. Top 4 seeds square into the quarterfinals. Everyone else plays a game or 2 to progress that far. Rhode Island, the 11 seed, 500-1. George Washington, the 15 seed, along with St. Louis, the Billikens, the 14 seed, 400-1. Again, just a good luck charm. Fordham, the 12 seed, and LaSalle, the 10 seed, 350-1. Now we have a huge drop after the teams who are playing the play-in games. Davidson, the 13 seed. Woo, interesting. They play an extra game, 50-1. St. Joe's, the 9 seed, 25-1. George Mason, the 8 seed. Remember when 15-1. Duquesne, the 6 seed, 14-1. The Bonnies, 7 seed, 13-1. VCU, 5 seed, 10-1. UMass, the 4 seed, 7-1. Loyola Chicago. I was going to make a Sister Jean joke, but I suppressed it. The world will have to hear it later. 2 seed, plus 550. The Spiders of Richmond, 475, and Dayton, the Flyers, 3 seed. They are the chalk. Colby, a 3 seed chalk at plus 150. What are we doing?
Man, I'm definitely not taking Dayton because I think Dayton's side of things is much tougher. Yeah, like St. Louis, I get it. They're horrible, but they're still super talented. Like Travis Ford recruits on a very good level. They have multiple guys that can score. Duquesne's been super hot of late. To me, Dayton has to go through that and Loyola Chicago. Good luck. I think the other side of things is where it's interesting. I think actually, I kind of like Frank Martin and UMass getting that 4 seed. Now VCU is a tricky game, but UMass beat Richmond this year. I want to say it was at Richmond. They beat Richmond. I think there's value on VCU and UMass, and I think Loyola is going to come out of the south side of that. I think Loyola's path is pretty easy. LaSalle and the Bonnies have been ass on the road historically. So I know this is not a true road game, but still the Bonnies away from home, they just don't play that good. So I like Loyola's chances on the south side of the bracket. And I think it's either UMass or VCU on the north side of the bracket, because Mason just whooped up on Richmond. What happens if Mason and Richmond go at it again? You know what? Give me a flyer on UMass. Give me a flyer on Loyola Chicago.
That's what I was going to do. Cause I'm with you. I think, the Sister Jean team, they're rambling again. Loyola and they're already in the quarterfinals. Like, don't underestimate what a huge,
not having to play an extra game.
No, I know it's easy to get caught up. I mean, I like VCU, but then, I mean, just simple game theory here. VCU has to play another game just to get to UMass. And Colby's right. Like, UMass has surprised some people. I mean, what was UMass's, what was their expected preseason stuff coming in? Cause I feel like they've exceeded expectations.
Oh, they certainly have. And Frank Martin, that's, I mean, he took South Carolina to a Final Four. There's a reason why the guy can coach basketball. And, he beat Richmond. Like, he's a great defensive coach. So if you have a Richmond, the type of team, like Chris Mooney's a good coach, but they're a type of team that, to me, if you go up against a guy like Frank Martin, where he's going to take away your biggest strengths, and that's a terrifying matchup for them. If you're honestly, if you're a Richmond fan, you probably want to play VCU, even though it's a rivalry game, just because I think Frank Martin can really pose problems from the defensive side of the ball. With the Spiders.
All right. Kramer? So I also like the UMass angle. I didn't have Loyola in the kitty. You guys are making a lot of good points. I also had a note, and I see Clark Towson in the chat is pointing out St. Joe's is an interesting team that could maybe go on a little run. I know they recently lost to Richmond. But I think, the vibes Colby was getting to was that Richmond is ripe for an upset.
The irony is that Richmond and Dayton have the harder opponents, in my opinion.
Like, so I think what I'm going to do. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying like Richmond they just lost to Mason. St. Joseph's is a quality opponent. And then you're going to have to go through an arch rival in VCU or UMass who beat you. And when you look at Dayton they could end up with St. Louis, who, I think has covered both games, or no, they covered one of the two, but that was at UD Arena. And then Duquesne, who's red fucking hot right now. And I just think if the 2 and 4 seeds or the 7 and 5 seeds, however you want to spin this, have an easier path.
UMass, George Mason, St. Joe's. So I'm doing a similar thing as I did last time. I'm expecting to have UMass plus either St. Joe's or Mason sitting for me in the quarterfinals there. Oh, wait, semifinals. That's how I'm going to corner this market, Sean.
Yep, Loyola and UMass for me and Colby. Couple sharps crossing swords.
I like the Loyola play though. I just didn't want to. I'm not going to get involved in that side of the bracket. Plus, you guys would have made fun of me if I went 4. Little strong. All right. 3 games in the first round on Tuesday. The 4th one is on Wednesday. We'll save that to talk about at a future date. Brooklyn, New York. So the A10 heads to Brooklyn. I would love for someone to do one of those animations where we see where the conference tournaments get played and how they've moved around, like a risk board. Davidson, 13 seed. Fordham, 12 seed. Davidson laying 4.5 here. Their future odds really don't stand out when you think about the fact that they are in like the first round. They don't get to skip a game, and yet their odds are in the same kind of tier of all the teams that do get to skip a game. But then the spread's only 4.5, Sean, which tells me that this is a strong. The spread may not be matched up with the likelihood that they advance in the game. I'm taking the chalk. Colby, what are you doing?
Well, I mean, Davidson, when they lost Skogman, they're big. He was like one of their best players. He's out for the year. And Fordham is located not far from the Barclays Center. No, I'm with you. I still think Davidson's culture
Play that music.
Well, I mean, both Davidson lost 5 in a row coming into the tournament. Fordham lost 3 in a row and then had 2 wins in there, but then 4 losses. Before that, both teams suck. One team can hit their free throws, and it's Davidson by a much wider margin. That's all you need to know.
Nice job,
Davidson
Sean.
laying the 4.5.
2-0 against Fordham as well, even though, like Colby mentioned, the roster's slightly different. George Washington, the 15 seed. They're taking on LaSalle, the 10 seed. LaSalle laying 1.5. Colby, which side you on?
I really like LaSalle here. Fran Dunphy. I get it. Like they haven't been that great this year, but man, if you watch them, I feel like their team is more talented than their record represents. So I will take LaSalle. George Washington's been fucking terrible down the stretch. They're 1-9 in their last 10. And I want to say, if you go further back since January, they've been just a train wreck. The Colonials have. So I will jump on LaSalle, and that's not even a crazy future. It's LaSalle. They can play better than I think.
Explore.
Yeah, they're just, to me, they have more guys than a 10 seed normally does. But anyway, give me LaSalle.
You know what? I'll add them in at 350 to 1. I'll add him in at 350. I need something from that side of the bracket. There you
Colby, go.
I think our us ragging on Kramer for only taking chalks got into his head. He's drunk with futures right now.
Another matchup where the one team got swept by the other team in the regular season. This time we only have to lay 1.5 for LaSalle. Yes, please.
It's too good to be true. I'm with you guys. LaSalle
1:30.
They own George Washington.
1:30 p.m. on Tuesday. We got Rhode Island, the former home of Lamar Odom before he got into his funny business. Taking on St. Louis, the 14 seed. St. Louis laying a point here as the longer odds, and remember, Rhode Island were the longest odds in the tourney at 500 to 1. So unless I wrote down the seating incorrectly, this feels backwards. Colby, why are the odds and the seating mixed up here?
I mean, that's a good question.
Stink. Little stink.
So this is a hard gauge on this one because Sincere Parker's a game time decision, and he's a fucking stud for St. Louis. Also, Travis Ford's going to be fired any minute now, which is St. Louis's head coach. So it makes it incredibly hard to gauge what we should expect of St. Louis. St. Louis, from a roster standpoint, is way better than Rhode Island. It's almost like Larinaga at Miami in a way, where you have to. Now they just played and St. Louis won.
It was only a 3-point game.
Yeah, And that was at Rhode Island though.
Yeah,
man, because I just have to take St. Louis based on the roster. Like they have a way better roster between Parker, Jemerson, Ezewiro Parker and Ezewiro were injured most of the year. Those guys are really good players. And I know Parker's a game time decision. So you want to monitor that, because if he doesn't play, then I would actually probably take the Rams. Benedict, there's a possible Benedict in this game, Sean. But you can't just like, I just think St. Louis is way more fucking talented. If you look at what Sincere Parker, and this is why I mean, you pay attention to the stat sheet here. This guy had 3 of his past 5 games, he scored 30 or more. So it's essential that he plays for St. Louis to win.
Yeah, I think I'll lay it with St. Louis. Don't have not a strong.
What's the injury, Colby?
Good luck.
Shoulder injury. Yeah.
All right, you can play through that unless you're a pussy who brings up your shoulder injury for like decades straight.
Oh wow, interesting. I think Sean's trying to say something about me.
Right? Always. Oh, my old rugby shoulder. Sean, can you grab that? Yeah, it's the old rugby injury flaring up. That's why I always notice humidity, because the old rugby injury.
Well, that is true. That's why I travel with a humidifier. Thanks for noticing.
Are you going to bring the humidifier to the room? I was thinking about that.
What do you mean?
No, you are bringing it for March Madness, right?
Yeah.
Let's go.
I mean, you shouldn't have to ask such an obvious question. All right, we're moving along to the next tournament that starts on Tuesday, March 12th. It's the Hercules Tires Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference Men's Basketball Championship, being held at the beautiful Jim Whelan Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City, New Jersey. All right, so we're dipping down a little bit in quality, heading to Atlantic City. They've done some nice things. No, they haven't. How do you screw up Vegas by the ocean? I don't know. I guess you put it in New Jersey.
Get some whacking in.
We got the conference future. Siena, a tremendous 250-1. Very impressive Siena. Canisius, the 9 seed, 100-1. We got Niagara, the 6 seed, at 13-1. Mount St. Mary's, 12-1. Ryder, the moving company, as Colby says, the 8-1, along with Iona. Marist, the plus 650. Quinnipiac 4-1, St. Peter's plus 380, and Fairfield plus 350. Odds pretty distributed here, Colby. Who you liking in the old MAAC?
I like whiskey, because get ready for this conference tournament.
Oh wow, he's taking a drink of whiskey before he talks about it.
You're gonna need to.
Well, it's that bad?
I mean, I think every team's got a shot. But not Siena, but everyone else has a shot. No, I'm going to go with Fairfield. I think they're the best team in Connecticut. I've argued that, all season.
Shot at UConn.
That is, and Fairfield I think has
destroyed Providence.
They're the most. That's true. How about Danny Hurley though? You see that? You see that video I shared? No.
Oh yeah, him getting into it.
Oh great! Some old school fucking Rhode Island guy saying, "I'll fucking kick your ass. You come up here, I'll fucking kick your ass." Danny Hurley loves to say, I almost think this is why we need to bring back, what was that shit we had in the 90s on FX where like Manute Bull boxed Refrigerator Perry. There was
just celebrity boxing.
Yeah. Celebrity death match, right?
We need to get that going again, because I don't like Danny Hurley's an interesting one. I'm like, the Jersey guy, Hurley. I don't know. Is he from a nice neighborhood or not? But he talks a lot of shit to fans each and every game. And I'm like, when can we see this? When can we see this?
I mean, we should track down Dana White. We're going to be out in Las Vegas. Fight Island. I know they had Fight Island going on.
No rules over there.
Fight Island. It's coaches versus fans, fans versus fans, fans versus players. Same rules. You train as if you would for any sort of other MMA fight, and you just get to see Bobby Hurley trying to choke out a guy
Danny
from Rhode Island.
Hurley. Yeah.
Same difference.
well, that's what I'm saying. Where are they from in Jersey? Is Danny Hurley actually a tough guy? I don't believe it, but for him to talk this much shit, it makes me think that maybe I'm misjudging him.
I mean, I appreciate the fact that he's talking shit, but I thought his bravery brought him to not being that guy anymore. So it feels like he's having a little bit of a relapse. Yeah, I mean, most guys. Well, I mean, I quick aside. But yeah, I mean, yeah, you just eventually you realize that everyone from New Jersey thinks they're tougher than they are, and in a lot of cases, they think they're taller than they are. I have a feeling it works both ways for Hurley, and eventually we're going to see a sweet video of him getting his shit pushed in by some fan.
I would love to see that. I mean, I honestly thought the fan, even though he was older, the way he was talking. I think I might buy into the fan whooping Danny Hurley's ass.
You know what? He probably went home. Guys, get the record. Make sure you record. I was on the TV.
That guy screamed.
Linda hit the red button.
That guy screamed.
That
guy screamed.
Input.
That guy screamed retired FBI agent to me.
Oh,
most of being married is explaining your AV inputs to your wife. No, HDMI 2.
I think he could have been one of the guys in The Departed. He had nothing to lose. Nothing to lose.
Gary K saying I got $50 on that Rhode Island guy. Yeah, you don't fade Rhode Island. No. I am an FBI agent. FBI tugboat is in the chat.
Oh wow. All right, let's make sure we don't say anything that could incriminate us, guys. All right, what are we doing here, Colby? What's the future we're throwing out? Because
so here's my logic. Here's my logic. Fairfield out on the right side of the bracket. The left side of the bracket, the Aqueduct Quinnipiac's been phenomenal all year. They've overachieved, but I think they have their work cut out for them because I think Mount St. Mary's is a tough opponent. I also think Ryder was red hot to end the season, and I also think St. Peter's was pretty hot to end the season too. So the winner of the Ryder St. Peter's game, I think could really ruin Quinnipiac's season. I'll take a shot on St. Peter's because I think St. Peter's and Ryder both were hot Jersey schools towards the end of the year. Kind of think St. Peter's a little better, despite being the 5 seed. Just when you watch them, I think they're a little more athletic than Ryder. I'll take a shot. Hot. I'll take a shot on the Peacocks for a future, and then Fairfield is I'm going chalk there.
Sean, doing anything fun?
I don't know. It's weird because like the long shots aren't that big of a long shot, and the chalk isn't that much of a sure thing. It's kind of an interesting futures market to break down.
And basically, there's 3 first round games. Everyone else is in the quarterfinals. There's not any sort of massive advantage. It's pretty fair.
I mean, I'm with Cole because St. Peter's has the defense, I think, to win this tournament, hands down, coming in pretty well as well.
Yeah, I think if you look at like the most recent, like the final, the past, like what they did in the final 2 weeks of the season, St. Peter's was actually really hot, and Ryder, both incredibly hot teams. That's why I'm saying if you're Quinnipiac, you're sitting there saying, shit, we got those 2 teams that have been playing incredibly good ball down the stretch. St. Peter's.
What do you think about the A-bombs, Colby? The Manhattan Project, 250 to 1. I just watched Oppenheimer. No chance.
Jesus, you got through it, huh?
It was really hard to watch a movie for 3 hours.
Yeah, was there an alternate ending?
You know what it was? They weren't giving out college basketball picks all throughout.
No,
that's the problem. All right, here's what I'm going to do.
And I'll say I want to St. Peter's. I think on the left side of the bracket, I do want to kind of add something wild on the west, on the other side. I don't know, Colby. You think Niagara has a shot, or am I crazy?
Well, the thing you got going with Niagara is they've been fire on the road this year, and they're not playing at home. So I mean,
all right, Niagara's going to be my long shot at 13 to 1, and then St. Peter's my chalkier play at plus 380.
Give me Ryder. You know what? Give me Ryder and give me Quinnipiac. Do another carve out. I'm not going to take St. Peter's too. That would be too many teams. Just Quinnipiac and Ryder. Ryder's beaten a lot of these teams recently, like Colby's pointed out. Yeah. Pretty sure Ryder's defeated the entire top of the conference over the past month. Red hot, 8 to 1. Really like that one. All right, first round action. We're heading to Atlantic City. Last time I was in Atlantic City, a lady of the night offered to sell me a Monopoly board. $10 was her first asking price. $5 her second. Canisius, the 9 seed. Mount St. Mary's, the 8 seed.
Did it come with the tokens?
I hope I wasn't going to verify.
Complete set.
If I was going to engage in the transaction, I wasn't going to be verifying the pieces. -2.5 for Mount St. Mary's. Colby, what are we doing?
I am going to jump right on in on St. Mary's to get it done. Canisius has been asked for most parts of the season. They just won on a half court game winner. I'll take Mount St. Mary's.
Mount St. Mary's for sure. I mean, you're looking. There's almost a 10% difference. Sorry, 10.6% difference at the free throw line. This shit matters. This is March. This really matters. You guys are crazy. And they can handle Canisius.
What do you mean? You guys are crazy. What do you mean?
No,
I'm
crazy. We all agree. I like the
crazy for making fun of me for always bringing it up. But they did lose at Canisius. But Mount St. Mary's here is the spot. -2.5.
Manhattan, the 10 seed, or as Sean said, the Manhattan A-bombs. They're taking on the Gales of Iona. Uncle Rick is no longer in the building.
They got Tobin Anderson, the guy who took Fairleigh Dickinson to the big defeat of the Purdue Boilermakers in the first round.
-8.5 for Iona. That's the Prick Dundee number.
I think we take a shot on Manhattan, and I think this line could be higher. By the way,
oh, interesting.
Manhattan's been horrible, but to me, Gallagher's got him playing. Is year one, and like I said, they just lost at the buzzer from like a fucking half court shot where the guy traveled actually before he shot the half court shot.
Manhattan beat them by 17 in Manhattan. Yeah. That to me, and you're giving them 9.5 or 8.5. I think that's way too much.
They also lost Manhattan. 10 on the road. There is that.
Year one.
Yeah.
I'm still taking the points.
I'm with you. I'll take the points too. I need. It's been a while since I've taken a dog. Get futures don't count, Sean. Futures don't count. Siena, the 11 seed, the only team Colby said does not have a chance to win this. Again, March 12th, Tuesday, 6:45 p.m. on the West Coast. If that's accurate, that's an insanely late tip on the East Coast. 9:45 a.m. in Atlantic City. That's about the time the Monopoly boards start coming out.
9:45 p.m. But yes.
What did I say?
AM.
Oh yeah. Either way, that funny enough, the Monopoly board did come out at 9:45 a.m. in my example. McDonald's breakfast. I was younger, man. Niagara, the 6 seed, laying 9.5. I mean, how bad is Siena?
They're horrible, but I almost think 9.5 is fucking a lot in the MAAC. Oh man. I mean, I guess give me Niagara. This is one where you just hope.
Ask me, Sean. Ask me how many teams has Siena beaten this year? 4. One of them was Niagara.
Wow. We should consider taking the points. 9.5 is like 100.
Yeah. And the last time when they lost to Niagara on March 7th, they only lost by 7. This is a lot.
Give me the points.
Give me more points.
Yeah.
Nice work, guys.
You guys are crazy. I'm on the fighting barrels. Give me Niagara.
When's the last time someone went over in a bet? Why aren't dudes jumping off in a wingsuit? Feels like a jet ski into a wingsuit jump. Why has no one done that yet?
The country got soft when guys stopped going over Niagara Falls in barrels.
They started playing football in domes. That's where it started.
Oh, Colby doesn't like domes.
I once went off the. It wasn't a waterfall, but it was a waterfall, but it was like a natural water slide. Kicked a little kicker, maybe like a 5-foot kicker at the end. And I plop into this North Carolina pond. And as I'm treading water, waiting for the rest of the people to come down, I just see a snake head pop out of the water next to me. Very terrifying moment.
Here's some Niagara Falls history, Ryan. Annie Taylor was the first person to conquer the falls in a barrel. After climbing inside her airtight wooden barrel, the air pressure was compressed to 30 PSI with a bicycle pump. Though bruised and battered, Annie made it. She expected fame and fortune. She unfortunately died in poverty.
Really?
Yeah.
So someone who doing a physical stunt did not die rich and famous.
No, this is another one.
Evel Knievel did though.
You know what I find interesting is only 16 people have died from falling over the waterfall. That you would think that number would be a lot higher, right?
Look, the infamous Bobby Leach plunged over the falls. This is July 25th, 1911, in a steel barrel. Bobby broke both his kneecaps and his jaw during the jarring event. Years later, while touring in New Zealand, Bobby slipped on an orange peel and died from complications due to gangrene.
Oh.
What?
So that's insane.
That's like Houdini.
The fucking Scooby Doo episode here.
The flu or whatever. All right.
A Greek waiter named George L. Stakasis suffocated to death after his barrel was trapped behind the falls for more than 14 hours. So not everyone lived, unfortunately.
But still, that number is very low. If you would have put that on cut, I thought it'd be a lot higher.
If everyone lived, it'd be pretty lame.
This one's great. In 1985, a Rhode Island bartender named Steven made the trip in a barrel wrapped in inner tubes. Steven was fined $5,500, and I think he lived. It looks like he lived.
That's what you should do. Go over in one of those big inflatable like hamster balloons that you run around in. Just go over the falls in that. You'll be fine.
I mean, he lived after, but I mean, he might have slipped on a banana peel and died. You know, I feel like it's a normal thing after jumping over.
Oh shit! Sorry, I'm just Niagara Falls trivia is great. Robert Overcracker rode a jet ski over the brink of Horseshoe Falls to help promote awareness for the homeless. His parachute did not open, and Robert ended up promoting better parachutes. He plunged to his death, and his body was later recovered by the Maid of the Mist.
Can you imagine taking it? That guy's a fucking stud,
dude. I'm gonna send. Is Josh still with us?
I think so.
All right, I'm gonna send you the photo of this. This is insane.
Can you imagine that? That's better than any action movie you're going to get. I mean, you take a jet ski off of Niagara Falls.
I was saying that's what I needed that. So I apologize to this man and his family. Although it sounds like he should have gone wingsuit, not parachute.
Sorry to distract the show, but look at this.
Oh my God.
That's insane.
Wait, but why didn't he see? He didn't really ride the jet ski as much as I thought he would.
What?
He's already separated from the jet ski at that point.
He probably hit a wave or something.
He's in midair.
I would think you would want to hold the jet ski a little longer, right?
Well, I think your parachute not opening, it's immaterial. You know what I mean?
That is awesome. I'm gonna have to go down.
Degens.
I know what I'm doing later tonight. I'm going down a rabbit hole on this guy.
All right, add this to the topic list of more questions than answers. All right, one last conference to go. Boy, these 5 conference doozies, real marathon. Conference USA. Fortunately, we only got one first round matchup to talk about for Tuesday, March 12th. First, let's take a look at the conference odds. Conference USA, all the way at the bottom. We got the Airport FIU 150-1 as the 9 seed. Middle Tennessee State 65-1, along with New Mexico State, the 6 and 7 seeds. Jacksonville State, the 8 seed, 25-1. UTEP, the 5 seed. Meep 12-1. Sam Houston, the 1 seed, all the way down here at 5-1. Western Kentucky, the 3 seed, plus 475. Liberty, the 4 seed, plus 450. And La Tech, Louisiana Tech, the 2 seed, is the chalk at plus 115. Of course, the Conference USA Men's Basketball Championship is being played in beautiful Huntsville, Alabama, at the Probst Arena. Essentially, you have the quarterfinals are set with the exception of Jacksonville State and FIU. So not any sort of crazy tourney and no reseeding or anything. Championship gets played on the 16th. They pretty much play every day. What are you thinking?
Colby? There's a place in Alabama, actually, right where this tournament's being held, called Nakalulu Falls.
Oh,
right?
Interesting.
Sean, you should dig up, do a little Google imaging
Anyone
here.
go over Nakalulu
Right?
Falls?
That's what I'm saying. I was wondering. Bobby Petrino was the offensive coordinator for Auburn for a while. I wonder if he ever took a jet ski off this fucking waterfall, with the girl on his back. I'm sure, but
something fell.
The play here, the disrespect for Sam Houston State is just so bold here. The only problem is if Jacksonville State beats FIU, which we'll talk about in a minute, that's like a home game for Jacksonville State. So maybe that's the logic on Sam Houston falling there.
Yeah, why are they the number 1 seed in plus 500? What am I missing, Colby?
Maybe the fact they're playing an away game against Jacksonville State if they take care of the airport. I wanted, without seeing the bracket, I was going to take Sam Houston and Jacksonville State, but I'll take Sam Houston because I do think they're playing great ball right now. And then I think, to me, the other side that makes sense, I'm going to take a shot on the Hilltoppers of Western Kentucky. You know, they're in year one, a brand new coach coming in there. They split with La Tech. They won in Ruston. They lost in Bowling Green, Kentucky. So knowing that they're probably going to get La Tech in the second round, and New Mexico State, they're also in year one of their coaching tenure there, with Wooten coming in there. I think they've been horrible on the road. Western Kentucky's looked all right on the road. I think you're looking at a La Tech tops second round matchup. They split, and La Tech just beat them like a week ago. I think the Hilltoppers get revenge. So I'll take a shot on Sam Houston and the tops of Western Kentucky.
I'm just going Sam Houston. They're playing the best. I don't think their path is that crazy. I understand what Colby's saying about, possibly a home game there, but Sam Houston State, they're solid, and at plus 500, I'll gladly take them as the 1 seed.
Worth noting, Sam Houston State also plays in a Huntsville, Texas,
home of the Bear Claw.
I do wonder, is that a real thing? The pastry?
No, their stadium's called the Bear Claw.
Oh
yeah.
I thought you were telling me where the Bear Claw.
How do you feel about Bear Claws in general?
I like them.
Yeah,
I don't go out of my way to eat them because I feel like if I'm at a donut place that has a bunch of donuts, it's not like jumping out at me, you know.
Sometimes I go for just I like the name Bear Claw screams to me on a menu. I go, you know what? Give me the fucking Bear Claw.
It is fun. I like an apple fritter is pretty good. Kind of a similar build there. I mean, those long donuts, I like those.
What do you mean a long donut?
You know, like the what do you call like a long donut?
Like this kind of donut? You're gonna hold the donut like this?
No, like a donut you need 2 hands for, right? You're familiar with those.
Oh, the kind with the gooey stuff all over it. Exactly. I know what you mean. Yeah. Speaking of
Long
which,
John, they're called.
Got to get home and get a Long John.
The maple Long Johns are delicious.
Yeah. You get one with a piece of bacon on it sometimes.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Getting serious. Yeah. Why wouldn't we take Sam Houston State here?
Getting serious. No. I mean, Sam Houston is the play, and I'm not gonna eat away at my plus 500.
Do we have to take a tiny piece of Jacksonville State?
I think it's worth it just because they're at home, man. Just because they're at home.
Are they at home? Hold on.
They're not that far away. That's not that far away.
All right. I'm seeing 95 miles.
Yeah.
95 miles.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, that's like going to San Diego. It's not exactly a stone's throw.
What are you talking about? I used to run a comedy show in San Diego. That was an easy commute. All right.
And that was before Colby used GPS, Sean. Give me Sam Houston State, and I will sprinkle Jacksonville State just in case. All right. First round. Anything else to add, Sean, before we move to the first round?
Nope.
All right. FIU, the airport 9 seed, no chance in hell. They're taking on Jacksonville State. And like Colby just mentioned, basically a home game here for Jacksonville State, laying a projected 4.5 by Prick Dundee. We're laying it, right, Colby?
Lock.
Yes. I love it. I sprinkled them to win the conference. You don't got to say no more.
FIU has been so bad on the road, and like we said, this is kind of a road game. So, yeah. Give me Jacksonville State all day here.
Done.
Yeah, no, I mean it's tough to make a case for as much as I'd like to make a case for the airport. Jacksonville State,
no need,
4.5.
No need. And the winner, of course, of this game will go on to take Sam Houston State. So if all things go well, I'll have a 5-1 and a 25-1 facing off in the quarterfinals.
Hey Ryan, have you signed up over at Hall of Fame Bets, aka HOFBets.com? I'm looking at. I just logged into my HOF Bets account. Very easy to use. Optimize some parlays, NBA, soccer, MLB, and college basketball. The parlay optimizer is about to drop. They will have everything live for March Madness, including some player prop stuff. The deep stats button, cannot wait till it's live for college basketball. Sign up now so you don't miss out. HOFBets.com, promo code SGPN, get 50% off your first month, or download the Hall of Fame Bets app. Time now for our best bets for March 12th, 2024. Kramer, what do you got?
Oh, so many games to choose from, but I think I'm going to have to put this Jacksonville State game on the card. Absolute love the angle, love the home spot. So you can lock that one up. And then I'm going to scroll all the way up to LaSalle, a projected -1.5 against George Washington. Yes, please. I'm going to explore the shit out of this one. Oh boy, I'm starting to realize I don't know if I have a dog to choose from. Scrolling around. All right, here we go. Let's head to the. What's the old paint company that was like AA MCL? I want to do that every time I see the MAAC. AA. Let's go Manhattan. Let's go with the Oppenheimer nuclear bomb A-bomb. Manhattan's 10 seed. Crazy money line.
Manhattan Project on the money line.
I didn't take a lot of dogs. I apologize for that.
Okay, for me, let's see here. Interesting.
Well, I could have taken Boston College +1.5, but that doesn't feel very fun. Yeah, I'll stick with Manhattan. That's more fun.
Yeah. I'm also going to take LaSalle laying -1.5. It just feels like a good spot for them.
Yeah, it's a great spot for the Explorers.
Also Canisius, fade them at all costs. Give me Mount St. Mary's laying 2.5. And for my dog, Louisville shocks the world. Pretty big dogs. I just don't know a world where NC State should be favored by 10 points. And actually, I'm going to swap out Mount St. Mary's or Notre Dame. Colby, what do you do?
Well, I mean, I'm going to go Mount St. Mary's there.
All right.
Cause that's my lock.
All right. LaSalle -1.5.
Wow.
Louisville money line and Mount St. Mary's as my lock. Hopefully, Pick Dundee doesn't copy my locks.
Papa Dundee over here.
Locking Jacksonville State, locking Mount St. Mary's.
Woo! A lot
the
of
dog.
Boring.
The dog is welcome. Welcome to the Big 12 tournament. UCF. Oklahoma State's winning that.
Woo!
Really?
Yep.
Really?
Oh yeah.
All right. He did it. Picking against literally picking against the genesis of allegedly the logo of TC.
Do we want to put in any sort of parlays?
I think
Jacksonville, Mount St. Mary's.
Let's save the parlay for tomorrow's show when we have actual numbers.
That'll be good.
Yeah.
And then we can lock it up. Hey, hopefully you enjoyed the college basketball mega pod. Make sure you check out Colby Dant on the college basketball experience. Get in on the bracket, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/champs. Free to enter, $1,000 prize, and you get 2 entries if you host your own pool there. And Merch Madness, didn't really talk much about Merch Madness. I'm rocking my SGP hat, 15% off everything. You got the Pick Dundee shirts. You got the Court Storming shirts. Storm in style with the Court Stormer shirts. 15% off everything. Just use the promo code Madness. Kramer's got his SGP hoodie, bunch of great stuff. Shout out to Jake. He's been killing it.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, second the money green. He's Ryan.
Can't remember the last time I didn't wear an SGPN shirt.
Lehigh, Kramer, let it ride.